It's always good to spend at least a moment to just make sure you're sitting comfortably. It's not really about relaxing or being fully comfortable, but we can spend a few moments so we're just starting kind of tuning in to a moment of tuning into the body. Sometimes if we just dive into meditation, we might get too involved with something happening, meditation being a thing we do, and then it becomes a bit too focused. And so the focus could be looking at thoughts, or it could be inquiry into the question, who am I? Whatever it is we're used to doing when we meditate, those of us who meditate. And so it's always good to just spend a moment doing what would be a bit of a body scan. But don't be technical about it either. Just have a sense of your skin and your breath. There's a direction of just bringing the attention downwards. And you can even help with eyesight. So if your eyes are open, just kind of look gently down. And tune into the breath. And just notice there's breathing happening. You don't need to do anything about it. And there's a sensations of the skin. Just very gently move around your awareness to your face, your jaw, your neck. Don't get too bothered with full relaxation. Just notice if you could very gently readjust and let something loosen, but don't get too focused on that either. Just a gentle scan. It's a bit of a grounding. Notice there might be something we could call two things happening. One is attention moving. So attention would be if whatever is being brought to the foreground. So if I say, notice the breathing entering through the nose or the mouth. And if you do that, then the attention brings into the foreground those sensations. So attention is this kind of focusing that is constantly moving. Then there's something that's aware of the attention. So there's a knowing of being focused on breath or the sounds, whatever it is that's in the foreground. And notice how attention tends to have its favorite paths, focusing on thoughts. You can direct the attention to just the activity of thinking. It's normally happening. There's images, narratives, inner dialogue. It's always best to notice without forcing, without pushing. It's very gentle. But something's noticing attention, something's knowing attention moving. And it's not attention itself. You could think of attention as the camera focus. but something's looking at the whole picture. You might be focusing on sensations of the breath, and there's also a knowing that sounds are happening. And then you can, upon hearing that, sounds can become the focus of attention, or the sensations of your feet. And notice how the way this kind of works, it's very strange. You can really look closely at what's happening. Attention moving around, what's moving attention? You might sense, well, that's me. But then you can look at attention moving around, and it kind of goes on its own. If it's really you doing that, could you not just decide to focus on one thing? It's not that simple. And there's this knowing that is simultaneously knowing everything that's happening. Knowing in the sense of experiencing, direct experience. If there's a sound, there will be the knowing of the sound. Sensations, perception through eyesight. And it's all known simultaneously. It's all one field of perception, including thoughts. The world of thought is very deep. So for example, the sense that you're a person, a human being on a planet, on a Zoom call, all of that is known in the mind, in the thought space. It's based on memory. And the point of all this is to look more closely at our experience. What's actually happening, what's actually here. To be able to know more directly what we are. To recognize that which is looking, that which is knowing, is not a thing. The closer you get to that, you can start sensing there's an emptiness to it. But it's not a total voidness or nothingness. It's a seeing. It's a knowing. And this emptiness which is alive, which is seeing and knowing. It's what we're looking for. And it's nowhere. It's everything. It's everywhere. You could recognize that it has no center by looking at the appearance of a center. There seems to be a center. part of us longs for a center, craves the center. We're attached to the center. And that's the dilemma, the dance. To constantly be creating a center, the sense of a center, where there is none. So all our struggle or distress or suffering is this tension between the craving of a center the incessant making of a center. And this emptiness. The more we experientially know this, the more we glimpse into the impossibility of a center. This is what sparks what we call awakening. And so the question, who am I or what am I, just goes directly at what is this center that I call I? What's its nature? What is it made of? How does it operate? How does it appear to be a center? And the true inquiry makes no assumptions. It looks at assumptions. the conviction there clearly is a center. What if there isn't? The making of this center and the what we call identification, the false knowing of what we are, the belief in what we are. That's a process of contraction, of tension. And a part of us longs for that, longs for the center, longs to be something we know, something knowable. And a part of us craves for that liberation from this search of a center. Like a whirlpool, we twist and turn. To make a shape that we can call me. All that's needed at first now is just to notice this process. This push and pull between contraction and expansion. Craving for one, longing for the other. You sense it in your body, in your mind. The more we see this, the more uncomfortable it would get at first. So we look gently. We look with a childlike curiosity. A loving affection to ourselves. What we are is already here. And slowly come back to the group.